Yo, what is good, YouTube? In today's video, I'm gonna give you guys an updated top 5 best guns you need to be using in Black Ops 6. These are the guns that are gonna help you succeed and, of course, help you drop tactical nukes here in the game. So if y'all enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like for the algorithm, subscribe with all notifications turned on, and let's get into it. All right, fellas, so hopping in here first, we're gonna be jumping into our first loadout today, which is gonna be the Jackal PDW. Let's get into it and show you guys the attachments on this thing. First thing, this is going to be obviously a gunfighter build having 8 attachments. First thing on here is going to be the suppressor. We don't really have to run a compensator because we have so many other great attachments, so that is definitely an option. You want to stay off that radar. You want to be just really just moving around, kind of a little bit stealthy, and it drops some high kills and nukes. It does help us stay off the radar, so the suppressor is going to be our first attachment. After that, in the barrel section, we have on the long barrel to help us out just with our overall damage range, making us really truly more effective out past the traditional SMG range in Black Ops 6. This is one of the most effective guns you can possibly use, so this will really help you guys out. After that, in the underbarrel section, we have the Ranger foregrip to help us out with our horizontal recoil control and, of course, our sprinting movement speed. This is tremendously helpful when you're running around this game. I mean, just be able to sprint around faster, move more quickly, just help you get from point A to point B just better. So we have that on there. Magazine section, we're going to go throw on the extended mag 2, which you guys, if you want to, you can throw on extended mag 1 and just get a little bit more mobility, though having that extended mag 2 on there is quite nice when you're going up against multiple enemies. And because this is an 8 attachment build, we have plenty of mobility to go around, so you guys can get away with running extended mag 2 or extended mag 1. It's up to you. Rear grip section, we have on the ergonomic grip to help with our slide to fire, dive to fire, and aim down sight speed. All really great things here when you're trying to build out an SMG. It does make a big difference. So we have on the ergonomic grip here just to speed us up and make us more effective at close range. After that, we have the balanced stock, which is personally one of my favorite attachments in the entire game in the stock section. Aim walking movement speed, hip fire movement speed, and strafing movement speed. 4 great things, 0 cons on this, so we really like it. If you want to switch this up a little bit, you could go for something like the infiltrator stock and get a little bit more of that aim walking movement speed, which can be pretty nice, but I do enjoy getting that movement speed increase. I just feel like I can for real fly around the map when I have this attachment on. After that, we're going to go into laser section. The reason we're running this is just because we don't really need to run a red dot sight. I'm not a big fan of lasers in this game, but if I am going to choose between a red dot sight and a laser, particularly on the Jackal PDW, I'm just going to go for a laser and kind of keep it with that. Lastly, in the fire mod section, we're going to run the recoil springs, which there should be no way that you should have almost any recoil in this gun after using this build. This is just an absolute heater right here, and this is going to be my full build here on the Jackal PDW. Next up, an 8 attachment XM4 build. I use this to drop my highest gun streak ever on Black Ops 6. So, of course, here's the build. Kepler Micro Reflex is our first attachment. Just throw that on there. That really does help just clear up the obstructiveness the iron sights would give you. And I always run a red dot sight on my XM4, never run those iron sights. After that, muzzle section, throw in the compensator to help the vertical recoil control. This thing does have some of that vertical recoil, so we definitely want to stabilize that out. After that, barrel section, we have on the reinforced barrel to increase our damage range and bullet velocity. This is just the best barrel you can run here on the gun. If you're not going to run a barrel, that's perfectly fine. But if you are going to run a barrel, it should be the reinforced. Just extend out both of those ranges and just make your bullets register more fast, more quickly. I was about to say something else, but I started stumbling over my words. Anyways, moving on, we have the vertical foregrip here. This helps their overall horizontal recoil, which is something that we can pair in tandem, of course, that compensator, and really just feel great stability overall. So I like that a lot. Magazine, we have on extended mag 1, which is really nice because we go from 30 to 45 rounds, but we also don't incur any movement penalties like you would down here with extended mag 2, which is something if I'm playing Warzone, which is what I'm going to run. But for multiplayer, 45 rounds is definitely more than enough. You can even get away with running basically just the fast mag or something like that with 30 rounds if you really want to go down that route, but I just prefer personally to go for the extended mag 1. Rear grip section, we have on the quick draw grip, which helps out so much with our overall ADS speed. This is really great attachment, and I mean, in my highest gun streak ever, which you guys can check out my previous video, this just came in clutch plenty of times. Stock section, we have on the balanced stock. Like I said, it's one of my favorite stock attachments in the game. Even on assault rifles, because I'm a very aggressive player, I like to just really get up in people's faces and just be able to take a lot of people out, get that movement going. Not like any of the crazy YY spin around movement, but just good calculated moves that allow me to break some people's camera angles or slide out the way. This helps me be more mobile. Lastly, skipping the laser section, going straight for the fire mod. Recoil springs here once again. This between that, the compensator, the foregrip, all the attachments we got. This is a very easy and very mobile, very easy control, I should say, very easy control and very mobile XM4 build that you guys are absolutely, truly gonna dominate with. Next up, we're jumping in here to an 8 attachment PP919 build. This right here, listen, I don't really need an a red dot sight on this thing, but because we have 8 attachments, I was like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and make this thing a little bit easier to use by running the Kepler Micro Reflex on it. So I would recommend for you guys to go ahead and run this. This is actually just a great attachment, considering the PP919 doesn't necessarily have any open slots here because there's not really an underbarrel, so you have to run something if you want to take full advantage of gunfighter. But overall, I'd say having a red dot sight is nice in comparison to iron sights. Anyways, second attachment is the compensator for the horizontal and vertical. Does the trick here. This really doesn't have hardly any recoil, so realistically speaking, you could get away with running a suppressor on this build and be perfectly fine like that. It will just have a little bit extra visual bounce as opposed to the compensator. Barrel section, running the long barrel to increase out our overall damage range, pushes you out to about 20 meters, which is really very effective. Honestly, you can get some shots across the map with this thing, or what feels like across the map, just because it's so effective. So I've been beamed a few times at distance with this thing, so you should definitely go ahead and run the long barrel. Magazine, we ran Fast Mag 1, just increase our ADS speed, sprint to fire, reload quickness, gets you 50 rounds in the mag, so we really can't complain about that. That is more than enough for an SMG, or really most guns in the game, especially for multiplayer. Even in Warzone, it's still really good. So Fast Mag 1 does the trick. Rear grip section, we have ergonomic grip here once again. You guys know what it does, so I don't really have to explain it, but it does the trick, does the job, gets you feeling real fast and mobile, so we like that. Stock section, we have on the balance stock. I've just been running this on almost everything. This is also one of those guns, by the way, where the infiltrator stock does feel very, very nice. I have used that, and I do quite enjoy the extra aim locking movement speed I get with it. So if I am going to swap out the balance stock, it would be for the infiltrator. Laser section, steady aim laser, just increase our overall hip fire spread. I really like that, and I think it's very necessary to have a little bit of a better hip fire spread. I mean, we're going to use all 8 attachments, all 8 slots, so might as well increase that. And lastly, we're going to run the rapid fire attachment to help making our TTK faster. I don't feel a need to run recoil springs or anything else like that, and it's also one of the reasons I have the compensator on this thing is for that rapid fire, and it just makes you take people out so unbelievably quick. It is pretty ridiculous. So this is my full 8 attachment PP919 build. Next up, a KRIG C build. I know this gun has actually, I think, gotten banned or eliminated from competitive play because it's really, really good. A lot of people are going to be sweating it out with this gun. So here's an 8 attachment build for you guys. First thing, Kepler Micro Reflex. Don't gotta explain that one. It's just a red dot sight. Muzzle, we're gonna throw on the suppressor. I don't think you need a compensator, not with 8 attachments on this gun in particular. You can do it, just depends what you're doing. I've played 10v10 running a suppressor with a compensator. I've played a variety of game modes. It just kind of depends on the game mode you're in and what you want, what's your kind of goals. You want to stay off the radar, you don't really care, so on and so forth. Barrel, throw on that gain twist barrel to increase our overall bullet velocity. We don't really need the long barrel. The increase in damage range is cool, but overall, I mean, it's like 40 something meters for your effective damage range is really far. We don't need it to be that much farther in multiplayer, so just having your shots register faster will do you a lot better more often than not. Underbarrel section, we're throwing on that vertical foregrip here to stabilize you out with that horizontal recoil. It's almost impossible, no matter how good you are, to stabilize horizontal recoil. When something jiggles back and forth, it is never good. Magazine, extended mag 1 here, just increase our overall magazine size from 30 to 45. Pretty self-explanatory. You only get a minor reload quickness con, nothing else like that, so it's really great. Rear grip, we're throwing on that ergonomic grip. I personally was using that on this gun, though I could probably get away with running the assault or the quick draw grip. Just kind of experiment around, see what actually works good for you. I've been using this and it's worked out great for me on this build, so I really can't complain. Actually, back in here to the stock section, we're running the balanced stock here. I mean, I've ran this on so many of my guns. I actually at one point was running the no stock on the KRIG, and it did feel pretty good, but I have since moved over to the balanced stock. Skipping the laser, lastly, we're gonna go into the fire mods for the recoil springs. You're just gonna stabilize this thing out, make it truly a laser beam, hit those cross map shots, and absolutely beam people. It's pretty ridiculous. This build is overpowered. And lastly, in our top 5, we happen to have the SAUG, which is a crazy movement SMG I think you guys are gonna like. So first thing, compensator to stabilize it out. This is a very low recoil build while having ridiculous mobility, so you guys will really enjoy using this in multiplayer. After that, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna throw on the long barrel to increase, of course, our damage range. Pushes you out to about 15 meters, which is really not too bad. It doesn't have the greatest TTK, but that mobility does make up for it, so you guys will be able to absolutely dominate. Underbarrel section, throw on that Ranger foregrip. We don't really need any more extra recoil stabilization up with like the vertical foregrip. The Ranger is going to do exactly what we need it to, and of course, it's going to make you faster. Magazine, we're throwing on the extended mag 1, which gives you 45 rounds. Don't need extended mag 2 for 55. I think that's going to be a little bit overkill in my opinion. And then in the rear grip section, we have on the ergonomic grip for slide to fire, dive to fire, and ADS speed. Makes a big difference when you're using an SMG and really trying to go like move around, bob and weave, slide, kind of do everything with the Omni movement. So I like that a lot, and I've had some nasty kills in multiplayer using this thing, and even in Warzone I've gotten some pretty nasty kills. Stock section, we're throwing on the infiltrator stock for that aim walking movement speed. This is something that's very nice considering the gun is so mobile as is. We don't really need to do a heck of a lot. You guys could go for the light stock, you could go for the balanced stock. I mean, it's a little bit more up to you, but the infiltrator has been quite nice to me, and I've really enjoyed that aim walking movement speed, got very accustomed to that, and it does throw people off when you strafe side to side in this game. Even regardless if you don't do a slide, you know, mid gunfight or something like that to throw someone off, doing like just, you know, moving back and forth does throw people off, and it also helps your aim assist, your rotational aim assist kick in when you are moving back and forth. It does help out. It's way better than standing still. After that, we're gonna go into the laser section, throw on the steady aim laser to increase our overall hipfire spread. So that is truly a great attachment, especially when you're being real aggressive. And lastly, we have the recoil spring, so you guys should not have any recoil on this gun. So that is my full build. That's been my top 5. If you guys enjoyed this one, give it a like, subscribe, check out this other video on screen, and I'll see you all next time.